Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us over your lunch break. Today, we're going to be talking with business owner Keith Jensen about his company, Crown Automation, and how to secure your space. So just a couple housekeeping items before we fully dive in. Everyone that is signed in is being muted with no video. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box and we will get to them at the very end when we do the Q&A portion of the webinar. Also, if you would like, you can switch to speaker view instead of gallery view. It'll allow you to see us a little bit better as we're chatting, but feel free to use whatever works best for you. So for those who haven't met me before, I'm Sharon. I'm the owner of an interior design company here in Edmonton called Weaver Design. So we're a full service interior design studio. We offer services ranging from paint consultations, window coverings, construction drawings, and project management services. So really we do everything related to interior design. So I started doing these webinars back in May out of a passion for supporting local businesses in Edmonton. I really didn't know where this was going to go when I first started doing this, but the support has been amazing. So a big thank you to all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching our webinars, and to all of you that continue to share out our posts, like our posts on social media. It's been a huge help, so thank you. So we've done a number of these webinars already, and we've covered a variety of different industries. We've had a real estate agent, an HR consultant, an employment specialist, really so many different industries. So if you are interested in watching any of our past webinars, you can do that by going to our website, so weaverdesign.ca/webinars, and you can watch all the recordings there. We also have a YouTube channel, so if you search Weaver Design, we should come up, and please subscribe to our channel. You can then stay updated on any future videos that we're posting. So today, like I mentioned, we're talking to Keith, who's an owner of Crown Automation here in Edmonton. So they're a local company and they offer both commercial and residential security solutions. So hi, Keith, welcome.
Hey Sharon, thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Nice to have you here today. We've spent some time chatting over the last couple weeks and kind of gotten to know each other, but I have to say I'm very excited to have you here today and talk to you a little bit more about what it is that you do. So for everyone else that hasn't met you, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you've come to start Crown Automation?
For sure, yeah. Well, I started with a small local distribution company here in Edmonton, just learning the products before jumping in the trade.
Okay.
And then from there, I just started doing voice and data, fiber, security, audio, video conferencing, and tower work as well. And then, after that's kind of my background on it. And then after purchasing my home, I wanted a security system, but I didn't want a contract and I didn't want it to be monitored by a third party.
Fair enough.
So there was really no companies offering that service. And then from there, I kind of just started Crown Automation and provide that exact service with high quality equipment.
That's awesome. And how long have you been in business for?
I've been in business for 5 years now.
Awesome, same with us.
Awesome. It's a big milestone.
Yes, it is. It goes by so fast.
It does, yep.
Yeah. Sometimes I just can't believe it's already been 5 years already.
I know, yep.
So can you tell us a little bit about the services you offer, maybe some of the bigger clients that you have? I know you have some pretty big clients here that you deal with, but if you can let everybody else know, that would be great.
For sure, yeah. Crown Automation caters mostly to the security camera and automation world the most, but we also provide all aspects of telecommunications, from voice and data, audio, video conference rooms, and we also just launched a smart parking infrastructure system, so that'll help people park in underground parkings. And we've worked with companies such as Parc de Rouge, Hilberg and Burke, Home Depot, J. Campbell, plus many more. But definitely our biggest client to date has been Tim Hortons, with 70 systems installed throughout Alberta.
That's awesome. Do you get free coffee?
Yeah, it's definitely one perk, and I'm a huge coffee fan, so it works out great. And they're always better than McDonald's as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. They're my go-to as well for just a basic coffee.
For sure, yeah.
So we got this fancy espresso machine at home just a couple months ago, and that's been my go-to.
Yeah, those, if you spend the money on them, why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to talk a little bit about one of your services, which is smart homes. I know technology is advancing all the time, and there's definitely more of a need from clients to have an environment that's easily managed from a single device. As I mentioned earlier, we do custom window coverings at Weaver Design, and in the past year there has been a lot of growth in people wanting motorized blinds and not only having them, but having the ability to control them through their smartphone.
Right.
And even with us, for my personal home, we have a Nest thermostat. Again, that's something we can control through our smartphone, and that's been so awesome to have. It's especially great when we're doing like the traveling and we're coming home from holidays. We can just easily go on our phone and increase the temperature, so by the time we get home, it's set to where we normally have it. So there's a lot of cool technology out there and stuff that people maybe aren't aware of, or they just don't know where to start. So can you talk a little bit about what it means to have a smart home, what those add-ons are, and maybe a little bit as well for people that have those add-ons? Does it compromise people's home security?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's great for all this technology because you can kind of seem like you're home even though you're not, and it's
Yes.
a huge diversion just on that alone. But yeah, traditionally homes are not very smart, and they don't tell you when something goes wrong until you look for the problem yourself,
Yes.
right? So with the current technology, it allows you to detect intrusion alerts when water's leaking or if the heater power has gone out, and you can control all this just from your phone. So it saves you time and money just with that fact alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but yeah, as for compromising, all technology can be hacked at the end of the day, but with a few simple measures in place, it's very minimal. And to date, we've had no incidents thus far. So
That's awesome. Do a lot of people get concerned about that when they're doing these add-ons with people hacking in? Is it more of a concern these days?
Um, honestly, no. Like they should be a little more concerned about it, but it's not usually a huge question.
Okay.
You should always be aware of security with all technology, as far as I'm concerned. But I always try to just push it anyway. Make sure you got some virus protection at the minimum. Proper firewall, those kind of basics things, and you should be okay. It's once you start getting into downloading and stuff, downloading the wrong files, you can definitely compromise your system for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, security it's nothing that's new. It's been around for a long time, but I do think there is more of a demand for it, both residentially and commercially. Are you finding that? What do you think about why that's been growing and the importance of having security systems?
Well, definitely the main factor I think is affordability. It's so much more affordable, and that's the beauty of technology. As it gets better, it gets cheaper, and there's more choices available for you to use. So but yeah, definitely. And then there's also so many conversions you can do with existing alarm systems. You can take them over and then have your own smart home system without that's already existing in there. You can add on to those, and yeah, it just doesn't end with the amount of add-ons you can do, and technology that just keeps getting better and better. And I'm a big fan of like the water shut off valves, because that's usually the big thing that happens when you're gone away. The water will leak and you have no idea until you get back. And then with the systems now, you can set them up to just any water detected wherever there's a sensor automatically shut off the main water, and at least bail you out of some damage, right? Because
Right.
yeah, water is not an easy thing to clean up, that's for sure.
No, and unfortunately, we hear it all the time. We've had lots of people come to us that their sump pump stopped working, their dishwasher is leaking, and now they
Right.
have all this water damage and having to renovate their basement. And hopefully it's the first and the last time, but we get people that have had it a couple times in a row, and now they're renovating again. So
Right. Yeah, and
yeah,
depending
that's
where you
definitely
live,
fun to have.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, just depending where you live too, in the city too, or even Leduc kind of area, like it can get pretty wet there sometimes, even without rain in this
Yeah,
underground water there.
you've been all too familiar with rain this year.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, anyone that didn't have a proper roof or sump pump that was working properly found out very quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So on the note with security systems, like for me, my fiance and I, we have a house in a neighborhood that's pretty safe. We've never had any issues with break-ins. I haven't heard of anyone having break-ins in our community, but unfortunately things do happen. And although we haven't any break-ins, we have heard of people getting cars broken into. We've had our curb ramps stolen a couple of years ago. So we've installed cameras on the exterior of our home just a couple of years ago, so that if something were to happen, that at least we'd have that video footage on hand. So I know that's one way that you can help protect yourself, is having these cameras, whether it's residentially or commercially. But what are some advice that you would have for people and what they can do to help prevent those break-ins, both residentially and commercially?
For sure, yeah, and yeah, good on you for installing those, because yeah, it's always better to have it and not need it, right?
Yes.
But yeah, the most simple, basic way you can prevent break-ins is just a well-lit property, because a lot of these individuals that break into places are just looking for opportunities, and it's typically a dark, empty-looking property, right? So they're just looking for a quick buck kind of thing. So they're in and out, and by the time, even if you do have a security system, sometimes it's without a well-lit area to prevent them from coming. By the time authorities come, it's not soon enough sometimes, right? So, but yeah, having an automated camera system and also a smart automation system, you can get video confirmation right off your phone instantly, as long as you have internet connection, and you can call the authorities with your video evidence right off the bat, and also provide them with it. So that would be my most basic 101 tip, is at least get some lighting. But
Yeah, I never
cameras
thought about that.
cameras and signage are a huge factor. Just
Mm-hmm. And if it's poorly lit and you don't have the greatest cameras, then imagine you probably can't see them very well anyway.
exactly, yeah, you'd be surprised how many people do have cameras, but they're very outdated, and
Mhm.
you really can't make up a face on them, especially come nighttime. It's a little hard with the infrared. They're just not as good as the newer cameras. So,
Right,
but it's better than nothing if you do have an old one.
exactly. Do you find that's when most of the break-ins happen, is at night, or are people coming during the day while they think you're at work? Um, I don't.
Yeah, typically at night. It's kind of
Okay.
late night. But I mean, also too, people forget to lock their doors, and they'll, like, on their car, and they'll just, it's just opportunity, and they're just, trying to, they'll just try a door and see if it opens and go from there. But definitely at night is more the opportunist time, it seems. But it can happen anytime for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It always amazes me when people have that much trust to not lock their door. I grew up with a friend on my block, and her and her family, they never locked their door, ever.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago. That was a normal thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and now,
But
well, now we have
strange
Amazon coming
now.
to the door, leaving packages, so it's pretty, that crime too has gone up quite a bit. So, even just having a camera on your doorbell or nearby will at least keep them away, or should, but
Mm-hmm.
it can't prevent everything, that's for sure, but it'll
No,
definitely help.
for sure. Yeah, it's maybe you can't do everything, but like you said, just properly lighting your home can make a big difference as well. And people know that someone's there. It's not um, sitting empty, keeping your window coverings closed, that kind of thing. I'm sure there's
Exactly.
going to be an increase in crime rate with a lot of people losing their jobs right now. There's a lot of financial stress happening, and unfortunately, with that does come an increase in crime. So
Unfortunately, yeah, it
go
does.
talk to him. Go talk to Keith. Get set
That.
up. Awesome. Thank you, Keith, for answering all of those questions and talking about all your different services. Um, We do have some time left, of course, so if anyone has any questions, again, just to remind you, we do have a chat box. So if you have any questions, you can put them there. I did have a couple questions, though, that came in just on the registration forms. So this one's kind of fun. What is the best part of your job?
Best part of the job? Well, I always love playing with new technology. It's always a fun part and getting to learn it all. That's always the best part. But it's hands down, it's got to be giving people peace of mind with the new security system. And as well, hearing stories about how it prevented a crime or was caught on video. It's always great to hear that, because it seems like almost quite often right after I install a system, something happens, or it just happened to get them out of the hole for that. Or especially with retail, there can be incidents all the time, right? So yeah, that's definitely my favorite part is hearing it did its job and prevented a crime, or at least was caught right on video.
Yeah, exactly, that you felt like you made a difference, and it only takes one time and it's fully paid for everything that they bought in terms of equipment, right? So you never know what's going to happen, and no neighborhood is completely safe. Things can always happen. So, and not just residentially, but commercial as well, especially when you're dealing with a lot more product.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
Is your focus more so on the commercial side of things, or are you pretty 50-50?
We definitely cater more to the commercial side and retail. Yeah, we do obviously do the residential. It's just can be a little harder sometimes with running the wire, but there's always a way. It just comes down to usually time and money, right, and how much the client wants to spend and all that. But yeah, we also provide the doorbell cameras, which are like the quick, easy fix for installing a camera. As long as your doorbell works, we can hook up the doorbell camera to it, and it doesn't take too long, and you're good to go. It gives you a good 180 view of your front yard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just had a question from Ashley here on the chat group. She said,
Sure.
what would be the best all-around platform to use in your home? Nest, Google, or other brands? Specifically, what platform is the most user-friendly and adaptable to multiple platforms?
Yeah, that's a great question, because there's a lot of brands now. There's a lot of them. Google and Nest, like, they're the same company. Google owns Nest, and they're very user friendly. There's really no, you can hook it up no problem on your own. But we personally use Vera, it's called, for our smart home automation, and they're very user friendly. It also works with the Google, so you can merge the two. So if you start investing slowly into Google, you can also merge this system as well.
Okay.
It's just a frequency that they all share, like with the wireless devices. So most of them are all compatible, and are pretty user friendly regardless. But yeah, we use Vera as our go-to, and we try to, if the client requests Google, we can definitely set that up as well. It's not but yeah, those two are definitely the top brands.
Okay, yeah, I haven't heard of that other one, so I'll have to check that out. And being
Sure.
user-friendly is definitely key for me as well. I'm not tech savvy, so it needs to be pretty simple to use.
Of course.
A lot of people.
Yeah, I agree.
One other question here. What are the top 4 values of your company?
Oh, sure. I mean, these are kind of values I think everybody should just in life go by, but I believe constant improvement is a big one. Ownership of everything, continuous learning, and my favorite, simplicity. Just like you were saying, keep it simple, because everybody wants everything to work, but if it's not simple, it can make your life a little harder, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys, do you have any other questions? Do you operate in a specific area of the city, or Edmonton and surrounding areas?
Yeah, Edmonton and surrounding areas for sure, but we cater to all of Alberta. So
Okay.
yeah.
Pretty wide range. That's awesome. Well, nowadays you can do a lot of things remotely as well, but I'm sure for your job, you're probably having to go to sites most times.
For the most part, some people like to, they're a little ambitious and they'll just buy the products and install it themselves too. And I'm always there to help and guide them. But it's a lot of people are pretty innovative and just want to do it themselves. So I have no problem providing that. And
Okay.
yeah, eventually we'll get to a point where we'll be able to just ship out full products, full systems. I mean, and you can just install it yourself very easy. And with everything being wireless, it's pretty easy for most people to handle. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that would be awesome. Then you can cater to a much wider range of people, right? And
for sure.
I'd imagine you still have to be a little bit tech savvy if you're willing to do it yourself, but then at least we have you to chat with and get that support, or you can send somebody out if they're really stuck.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it doesn't look like we have any other questions on the chat group, but if you guys think of anything else after the fact, I'm going to be sharing both of our contact information for anyone that's registered. The webinar was being recorded, so you'll also get a copy of that as well. And of course, we're going to share it out on all of our social media platforms too. So feel free to watch it again, share it out with anyone that you think might be interested in this topic and just didn't have the opportunity to watch it live today. We're going to be doing lots more of these webinars. We have a lot of great people lined up over the next month. Originally, we had planned to do one of these every third Wednesday, and it's now every Wednesday. So keep checking our website, weaverdesign.ca/webinars, and you can stay updated on all the future ones that we have coming up. And again, check us out on YouTube, subscribe so you don't end up missing any of those recordings. And yeah, so if you have any suggestions for other webinars you'd like to see, if you would like to be part of one, just send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. But again, thank you everyone for taking the time to watch this. Thank you, Keith, for being our guest speaker today. It was nice having you.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. All right, everyone. Talk to you later.